Okay, today we will talk about electrical signaling at levels of tissues, organs, and organ systems. The nervous system is primarily made of the CNS and the PNS. The CNS is a central nervous system and the PNS is a peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system divides into two. One is the afferent and the other one is the efferent. The afferent division transmits sensory information to the CNS, while the efferent division carries commands from the CNS to the body. The afferent division transmits sensory information to the CNS, while the efferent division carries commands from the CNS to the body. The conditions inside and outside the body are monitored by the afferent division. So basically, after the afferent neurons process the information in the CNS, the efferent division carries the signals to the body in order for it to respond in the appropriate way. Moreover, the efferent division is further divided by the somatic nervous system and the autonomic. The somatic nervous system controls the voluntary movements that are under conscious control. The other one, the autonomic, controls the internal non-voluntary processes such as digestion, heart rate, cardiac muscle, peristalsis, etc. And there comes another division. The autonomic nervous system can be branched into the parasympathetic division and the sympathetic division. Autonomic, parasympathetic, and sympathetic. The parasympathetic division means that promotes the act of rest and digest. On the other hand, the sympathetic nervous system prepares organs for stressful fight or flight. Okay, so in other words, the function of the parasympathetic neurons is to control homeostasis, and therefore the body's rest and digest response. The main function of the sympathetic neurons is to mobilize the body's fight or flight. This means that sympathetic neurons control the response of a body during perceived threat. The body speeds up, tenses up, becomes more alert, and adrenaline increases. Therefore, the functions not critical for survival shut down. In order to make these alert responses more effective, the sympathetic neurons are short but very fast. Okay, so a tip. The word parasympathetic is longer than sympathetic. Therefore, parasympathetic neurons have longer pathways, which causes slower system, and has the main function to restore the body to a state of calm. In other words, parasympathetic neurons are in charge of the body's response at rest. That's why it has longer pathways and a slower system than the sympathetic division that is in charge of the body speeding up, tensing up, and becoming more alert. On screen, you can see some organs that are related to the functions of some organs that are related either to the parasympathetic nerves or the sympathetic nerves. If you can notice, most parasympathetic neurons are located in the cervical or cranial nerves. The sympathetic ones are mostly originated within the thoracic nerves or the spinal cord. The frontal lobe consists in the consciousness and thought. Damages in the frontal lobe can result in mood changes. And also social differences. The parietal lobe, that it is considered as the crown or also the coronal lobe, plays an important role in integrating sensory information from various senses. The occipital lobe consists of sight. So the parietal lobe has something to do with senses, but not all of them. Only it is more related to touch. The damages in the occipital region of the brain can produce hallucinations. The temporal lobe is related to smell and sound. Limbic system, which is kind of on top of the brainstem or besides the cerebellum, has many things to do with emotions, memory, and resolving of conflicts from frustration. When someone has an increase in his or her memory or learns more stuff, either structural or chemical changes can occur. So basically, structural changes might include modifications in the number of synapses between two neurons, or even the destruction and creation of neurons. The creation of neurons is called neurogenesis. Okay, so chemical changes can produce more neurotransmitters or different neurotransmitters in different synapses. Neurotransmitters are chemicals that enable neurotransmission. This means that they transmit signals across a chemical synapse from one neuron to another neuron or target neuron. This target neuron, which is simply another neuron in the peripheral nervous system, can be either a muscle cell, a gland cell, or any type of cell that needs to receive a specific signal from the central nervous system in order to do an accordingly response.